Welcome to Vedanta Bhakti Pravachanam channel. In this channel, we are reading Sai Sarcharitra. Now, we are going to read Sarcharitra chapter number 21. It is a general rule that it is our good luck in the form of accumulation of the merits of past birth that enables to seek the company of saints and benefit thereby. As an illustration of the rule, Hemad Pant gives his own instance. He was a resident magistrate of Bandra, a suburb of Mumbai, for many years. A famous Mohammedan saint named Pir Maulana was living there, and many Hindus, Parsis and many others who followed different religion used to go him and take the darshan. His Mujawar by name Yunus pressed Hemad Pant many a time for going to see him, but for one reason or other he was not able to see him. After many years, his turn came and he was called to Shirdi, where he was permanently enrolled in Sai Baba's Darbar. Unfortunate fellows do not get such contact of the saints. It is only the fortunate ones that get it. There have been institutions of saints in the world from time immemorial. Various saints appear themselves in various places to carry out the missions allotted to them. But though they work in different places, they are all it were one. They work in unison under the common authority of the Almighty Lord and know fully well what each of them is doing in his place and supplement his work where necessary. An instant illustrating this given below. Mr. V.S. Thakur B.A. was a clerk in the revenue department, and he even came to a town named Badagam near Belgaum, along with the survey party. There he saw a Canaries Saint Appa and bowed before him. The saint was explaining a portion from the book Vichar Sagar of Nischal Das to the audience. When Thakur was taking the leave to go to him, he said, "You should study the book, and if you do so, your desires will be fulfilled. And when you go to the north in the discharge of your duties in future, you will come across a great saint by your fortune, and then he will show you the future path and give rest to your mind and make you happy." Then he was transferred to Junnar, where he had to go by crossing Nenai Ghat. The ghat was very steep and difficult, and no other conveyance other than the buffalo was in use of crossing it. So he had to take a buffalo ride through the ghat, which was much inconvenient to him. Then he was transferred on for promotion to Kalyan, and there he got acquainted with Nana Sahib Chandorkar. He heard much about Sai Baba from him and wished to see him. Next day, Nana Sahib and he go to Shirdi and asked Thakur to accompany him. He could not do so, as he had to attend the Thana civil court for a civil case. So Nana Sahib went alone. Thakur went to Thana, but the case was postponed. Then he repented for not accompanying Nana Sahib. Still, he left for Shirdi, and when he reached there, he found that Nana Sahib had left the place the previous day. Some of the other friends whom he met there took him to Baba. He saw Baba, fell at his feet and was enjoyed. His eyes were full of tears and his hair stood to end. Then, after a while, the omniscient Baba said to him, "The path of this place is not so easy as the teachings of the Canary Saint Appa, or even as the buffalo ride in the Nenai Ghat. In the spiritual path, you have to put in your best exertion. It is very difficult." When Thakur heard these significant words, which only he knew, he was overwhelmed with joy. He came to know that the word of the Canary Saint had turned true. The joining both hands and placing his head on Baba's feet, he prayed to that he should be accepted and blessed. Then Baba said, "When Appa told you was all right, but the things are to be practiced and lived. Mere reading won't do. You have to think and carry out what you read. Otherwise, it is no use. Mere book learning without the grace of the Guru and self-realization is no avail." The theoretical portion was read from the work Vichar Sagar by Thakur, but the practical was shown to him at Shirdi. Another story given below. Anantarao Patankar, one gentleman from Pune by name, wished to see Baba. He came to Shirdi and took Baba darshan. His eyes were satisfied and he was much pleased. He fell at Baba's feet and after performing proper worship, said to Baba, "I have read a lot, studied Vedas, Vedants and Upanishads and heard the Puranas, but still I have not gone any peace of mind. So I think all my reading was useless. Simple, ignorant, devout persons are better than myself. Unless the mind become calm, book learning is of no avail. I have heard from many people that you easily give peace of mind to so many people by your mere glance and potent word. So I have come here. Please take pity on me and bless me. Then Baba told him a parable, which was as follows. Parable of 9 balls of stool. Once a merchant came here. Before him, a mare passed a stool. Then the merchant, intent on his quest, spread the end of his dhotar and gathered all the 9 balls in it. And thus he got concentration of mind. Mr. Patangar could not make out the meaning of the story. So he asked Ganesh Damodar alias Dada Kelkar, what does Baba mean by this? He replied, I too don't know all that Baba says and means, but his inspiration, I say what I am came to know. The mare is God's grace, and the 9 balls accepted are the 9 forms of types of bhakti. Shravan, hearing, kirtan, praying, smaran, remembering, padashevan, restoring the feet, archan, worship, namaskar, bowing, dasya, service, sakhyam, friendship, atmanivedan, surrender of the self. These are the 9 types of bhakti. If any of these is faithfully followed, Lord Hari will be pleased and manifest himself in the home of the devotees. All the sadhanas, japa, tapa, yoga, practice and studying the scriptures and expounding them are quite useless unless they are combined by bhakti. Knowledge of the Vedas or fame as great jnani or mere formal bhajan are of no avail. What is wanted is full devotion. Consider yourself the merchant or seeker after the truth, and be anxious and eager like him to collect or cultivate the 9 types of devotion. Then you will attain stability and peace of mind. Next day when Patangar went to Baba for salutation, he was asked whether he collected the 9 balls of stool. Then he said that he, being a poor fellow, should first be graced by Baba and he would be able to collect them. Then Baba blessed and confronted, saying that he would attain peace and welfare. After hearing this, Patangar became overjoyed and happy. The Pandharpur pleader. We shall close this chapter with a short story showing Baba's omniscience and his using for correcting people and setting them on the right path. Once a pleader from Pandharpur came to Shirdi, went to the masjid, saw Sai Baba, fell at his feet, and without being asked offered some dakshina and sat in a corner, eager to hear the talk that was going on. Then Baba turned his face towards him and said, how cunning the people are. They fall at the feet, offer dakshina, but abuse behind me. Is it not amazing? This cap fitted the pleader and he had to wear his. None understood the remark. The pleader grasped it but kept silent. When they returned to the Vada, the pleader said to Kaka Sahib Dikshit, what Baba remarked was perfectly right. The dart was aimed to me. It is a hint to me that I should not indulge in reviling and scandalizing others. When the subject or Munsif of Pandharpur, Mr. Nulkar, came to stay here for the improvement of his health, a discussion about this matter was going on in the bar room at Pandharpur. I have said or discussed there whether the ailments from which the subject suffered were every likely to got rid of without medicines by merely going after Sai Baba, and whether he is proper for an educated man like the subject to take resource to such methods. The subject was taken to task, that is, he was criticized as also Sai Baba. I also took part in the affair, and now Sai Baba showed the impropriety of my conduct. This is not a rebuke to me, but a favor, a lesson that I should not indulge in any scandal or slander of others and not interfere unnecessarily in others' affairs. Still, Baba, his omniscience, knew that transpired there in the bar room, the intervening places, rivers, jungles and mountains were no bar to his all-perceiving sight, and he could see or read the hearts of all, and there was nothing secret or veiled from him. Everything far or near was open and clear to him, as broad as daylight. Let a man be far or near, he cannot avoid the all-pervading gaze of Sai Baba. From this incident, the pleader took the lesson that he should never speak ill of others or unnecessarily criticize. Thus, the evil tendency was completely got rid of and he was set on the right path. Though the story refers to pleader, still it is applicable to all. All should therefore take this lesson to heart and be benefited thereby. Sai Baba's greatness is unfathomable or is wonderful leelas. His life is also such for he is Parabrahma, Almighty God incarnate. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.